Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 119, I think. I'm your host, Taylor, and this week I'm being recorded live on May 30th, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor, and
What are you...
Redo. Doing a redo. Rerolling the intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 119, being recorded live on May 30th, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm joining is Andrew.
Wait, what?
Ah!
Okay. I'm getting like multiple sounds for some reason. Okay, I'm Anthony. As most of you probably know, I'm getting like triple audio. That was so weird. That was
Interesting.
a Discord issue, I think. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I would say we have a wonderful show lined up for you today, but I'm honestly not sure. You just saw our.
Are we good at ripping?
We just saw our failure of an intro. That one's 100% my bad. What's up?
Okay.
So there we go. Both those intros were bad.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. The second one was definitely a lot better. It was comparatively better. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, we're here like we are every week to talk about the video and everything, you know, all that fun stuff. So Ethan, let's start it off with you. What have you been playing this past week?
Oh gosh, what have I been playing? Oh hey, I finally I felt guilty about being a jerk back eons ago in the first Age of Men whenever we were ranking the top platformers of all time. I kept on railing on Ori and the Blind Forest, even though Taylor and Anthony both say, yeah, it's a really great game, and I finally picked it up on Switch. Good lord, it's gorgeous. It's amazing. It's
Did
fantastic.
You cry?
Yeah, like in the first 10 minutes. It's insane.
It does that to you.
Snorlax died. Snorlax died, man. What
I know.
am I gonna do?
It's not fun.
Spoiler alert for the first 10 minutes of Ori and the Blind Forest.
How old is that game now? Like 5 years old?
Say
I
what?
think that game's like 5 years old. I think we're good.
Oh, it's something old at this point. Yeah, but shoot. It's an absolutely stunningly gorgeous game. You know, it's crazy. It feels like it's so rare that like a AAA company or studio will just dive into a platformer these days.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time they focus their efforts on third-person shooters or first-person shooters or whatever the case may be. But and most of the platformers are kind of, you know, they leave it up to indies. But man, I'm telling you what, when a company like Nintendo or Microsoft makes like a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, or Ubisoft makes Rayman Legends or this Ori thing, it's just absolutely stunning. I wish more companies would do it.
So like Half Moon Studios, I think the developers for Ori, they when they were working on Ori and the Blind Forest, they got bought by Microsoft, and then Microsoft gave them a bunch of cash and then published their game. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? It's on Switch now, and I'm hoping Will of the Wisps, more recent one, will come eventually because I'm fully on board with it. I love to play that, but yeah, for sure, I've been having a good time with that. What else did I do? Oh, I replayed The Last of Us in anticipation for the new one. Still a great game.
Okay.
Yeah. Good times. Shoot.
Nice.
I think I played something else, but that was pretty much the highlight of my week.
Okay. Awesome. Andrew, long time no see, but welcome back. What have you been playing lately?
You know, I was playing the old Fix Your Computer game for a while.
My favorite.
PC building sim?
Basically, I ordered some RAM, and the person who put my PC together basically blocked one of the RAM slots with the cooler.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So I had to try. It's not like a big deal, but unless you can't get the CPU off of the cooler, which I was having a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
So then I tried to put it back in with the cooler attached, and that did not work.
Huh.
Well,
crap. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I broke my CPU basically. I'm pretty sure I bent some of the pins. So you know, me being not great at it, I ordered a new CPU. I upgraded. I got like a Ryzen 2600 now.
Nice.
Ryzen 5 2600. And I fixed it all up, and I plugged my new RAM in, and then my computer was like, "Nah, I'm not starting."
We're
'Cause-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I bought all this new RAM, and I can only use half of them.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh.
I know. Like I can use. I'm running 8 GB at like 3200 or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
But if I plug
Ooh.
the other stick in, I can't. Like, it doesn't run at 3200 because it keeps freaking out. So it runs at like 2133 or whatever.
Shoot.
Are you using the new processor though that you bought? The 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you updated your BIOS on your
Yeah,
motherboard?
yeah. I updated
Okay.
the BIOS to like the one it suggested. I heard like you don't want to go too much further. I don't think.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
So maybe it's another BIOS thing. I have no idea. I gotta double check.
Okay.
Man,
Interesting.
Andrew, I feel your pain, dude. I built this PC that I'm using right now probably a year and a half ago. Over the course of I just marathoned through it. It took me maybe like 12 hours or something.
As you
throughout
do.
The course of one day.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
right. The first time I ever built a PC, I mostly used YouTube tutorials, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
worked miraculously. Like the first or second time I booted it up, haven't touched it since. But as such, since I just used the tutorials the entirety of the first time, I'm afraid of opening it up again because I might mess
Mhm.
something up.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you going through that is just like my worst fear. So I feel your pain there.
You know, it's fine. It's just like
Trial and error.
it's just more
Yeah.
frustrating. It's just like whatever. I had to buy a new CPU.
Sure,
It's
yeah,
not-
yeah, yeah.
Not that expensive,
Sure.
right? But like it was just like me like being annoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, didn't really play a lot on my computer for the past week. Like I played Valorant a few times, but then it died, so I couldn't really play. I've been playing Modern Warfare a lot still. Warzone, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
Warzone. Got my first win.
Nice. Are the
Nice.
cheaters any better in that mode? Because I heard
I
there's
play,
like
I play on PS4 mostly.
Oh, okay.
So
I've heard on
I
PC
don't-
it's just rampant.
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt that.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I play on PS4, so I'm sure I still run into cheaters because I have crossplay enabled and whatever.
Mhm.
But it's probably not as bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not as
Okay.
bad. But it's
I mean,
fun.
some of the stuff that I watch quite a few like YouTube videos and stuff of like Warzone because I don't play Warzone personally. I don't like it at all.
I haven't touched Modern Warfare in a while.
Yeah, and like not many people I know like it either. And like some of these clips that you see, like people are just like beaming from like 400 meters away or like yards away, whatever the distance is, with like a automatic rifle or whatever, without a scope, nothing, and it's just like aim assist or like aimbot.
Mhm.
Immediately you can tell.
Well, yeah, there's definitely some aim assist like on the controller. Like I've like literally
Yeah.
seen a dude. I'm like pointing my weapon at him, and then he like drops off of the building, and my like gun just kind of like magically followed him. I'm like, wow, man, that
Whoa.
was a lot of aim assist going on right there.
Yeah.
No, man, you're just
Uh,
using your telepathic powers. That's just
I-
how much gamer. That's all the gamer energy you have.
I
It's
hope
like
it is.
the Halo Reach like magnetic bullets. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, but if you have the right setup with certain guns, they just like don't move. So
Oh, yeah.
especially on mouse and keyboard, where like it's easier to like get those fine movements.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that people can like just keep their little crosshair on somebody for like I don't know 3 seconds and then they're dead, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but it's like I'm used to playing Counter-Strike where guns actually have recoil in that game, and so
Yeah.
it's like if you go to play Modern Warfare on PC, then it's just like that's nothing. It's like that's like they stay in place. So
yeah, you just like literally like just firing a straight line at people and
yeah, just trying to
With-
laser people down, you know.
yeah,
So,
with some of those guns, you can really it's almost unfair at certain points.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been like delving into like a couple like random like fighting games here and there.
Okay.
I like fired up Street Fighter 5 randomly. And,
Nice.
Sure.
yeah,
Nice.
I like played around with that the other night and was just like stop and go basically on the neck like randomly. I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm glad that the online has improved so much.
Okay.
Which it has not. It's not improved at all.
That's not good. Okay.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's been it pretty much. I got so many games I want to play. I just don't have. I'm afraid to start.
Don't we
I'm in
all?
this weird mode where I'm like, oh, I bought this game, I bought that game, but I just don't want to start it. Man.
Okay.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anthony, how about you? How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, I guess. I've been playing some. I have kind of been playing some Modern Warfare. Some of the multiplayer here and there. That game's going okay. I don't think it's like the strongest like multiplayer from a Call of Duty game, to be honest. Like some of the modes and stuff that they have is like very annoying. I mainly do gunfight, to be honest.
Okay.
That's the mode that I get most of my enjoyment out of. I don't touch Warzone. And some of the night modes, like night multiplayer modes in that game, are just pure cancer. Like,
Oh no.
literally.
Okay.
It's really bad. Particularly if you can't see very well. And I'm not saying that I've got bad eyesight, but like it's pretty difficult to see people in like night mode.
I think you need glasses.
I have glasses.
Oh, okay.
Not because I've got bad eyesight, it's because of a different issue. So aside from that, I've been playing some Apex as well. Played a couple of games this week. Jumped on last night, and I was feeling kind of confident until I started playing, and I absolutely sucked. So I haven't touched that game in like 2 weeks.
Oh no. Okay.
So, kind of been, replaying some of that and like checking out some of the new abilities that some of the legends and stuff have, which is quite good. And apart from that, I've also been playing some League, not a whole heap, but here and there. I've kind of been finding myself playing at night, I guess. It's like a kind of relaxing thing to do, I guess. And aside from that, I haven't really been playing anything else. I'm not like gaming a whole heap at the moment.
Interesting.
It's like a very
Fake
long
gamer.
stretch. Yeah, I know, right? A very long stretch of not gaming, so I need to get back into stuff. I feel like once I jump into like a decent experience, I'll be right, and like I'll actually get back into it. But for now, yeah, got a whole heap going on.
Fair enough. All right, let's see. This past week for me, I've been playing a bit of Civ 6 with a buddy, so that's always fun. They got their they have like this like season pass thing going for the next few months or whatever, where it's like if you buy into it every couple of months, they're releasing like 2 liters and some other goodies or whatever they did if you buy the season pass. It's like $40. I haven't quite picked that one up, but it's not like an entire expansion that it actually lots you out of like a game content. So really, unless you actually really want to play like the leaders. The first 2 that they did were this Mayan like ruler and like this Colombian ruler as well. And I don't really have any interest in playing them, so I'm probably going to wait to pick up the season pass for the game when like a leader that I kind of want to play will come out or whatever. So we'll see if it ever does. Let's see what else. Been playing a bit of Kerbal Space Program. That game's been kind of fun to get into, and trying to relearn orbital mechanics and rocket science, which is always a fun thing to do during your week.
I tell you what.
What?
I'm just going to intercept here and say that I was watching Taylor stream some of it on Discord in like a voice chat, and I was literally screaming at him for an hour. You need a different type of rocket, and he wouldn't listen to me. Okay?
You see, I built my rockets with maximum meme value, and Anthony's suggestion was not maximum meme value, which is why I denied him for an hour. That's the problem.
So I'm like
Taylor,
screaming at him for an hour because he's like trying to get to the moon.
How are your ears doing after Anthony yelled at you for that long?
I'm deaf. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just probably get that checked.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Anyway, long story short, literally as soon as he swapped rockets, he got to the moon. So
I would have made it to the moon on my original design.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah, I would have.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah, I would have. Okay.
No, you wouldn't have.
The math says yes. My math said yes, I would.
Is that why you kept exploding from like too much heat?
That was more operator error than anything.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and then I don't know. I do kind of feel a little bit of the PC building pain that you guys are talking about. I wanted to interject this, go back to that conversation a little bit. If y'all remember back in 2018, my amazing experience with Corsair and everything, and my PC exploding. When it's like I finally got all the parts to assemble the rebuild and everything. It was just like the original case I got was this Corsair case or whatever. That was like really, really nice, by the way. It was a super nice case. But it was all the fans, and it was like the big emphasis on it was for RGB. And so all the fans on the case were RGB. There was like 1 in the back, 3 in the front that were all RGB. And Corsair bundled like their Lighting Commander Pro or whatever with the case also. And it's just like, I remember when it's like actually building the hardware in the PC for me, it wasn't like, it didn't take that long and everything, right? It took maybe 2 or 3 hours or so. But the thing that was the killer, and I was up until like 4 in the morning doing this bit, was like all the RGB wiring for fans and everything was just so annoying to manage and because I wanted to like things to look nice and everything. But anyway, I swapped cases and returned that Corsair case because what happened is that I had ordered the current case that I have now from Newegg, and it was like there were errors with the seller or whatever, because it turns out it wasn't like sold and shipped by Newegg. It was like a third-party seller that went through Newegg. Errors with the seller, so it was like, you know what? I have all the parts but the case. I don't want to wait for the case. I'm gonna run over to the now defunct Fry's Electronics and get a case, and yeah, because Newegg is gonna get me a refund for the case I ordered from them. It's like, oh, okay. So I did that, but then next day, the Fantats case that I ordered from Newegg ends up showing up, and so it's like, oh, okay, I'm just
double cases. Heck yeah, man.
yeah. So it's like I returned the Corsair one and then did the case swap, and my current case does not nearly have nearly as much RGB, so it was much easier. And I don't know, I put a new SSD in last week, and everything was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like me as well. Like a couple of months ago, I swapped cases and also got like a new power supply as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a massive PC builder. I've built like one PC. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is like kind of like rebuilding from the ground up, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though stuff was already on the motherboard and whatever. So yeah, that was like kind of interesting. And the case I've got now is like full glass. It's like really nice. Like really nice.
It's like
Nice.
Corsair RGB.
Corsair, like Crystal 570, right?
Yeah, 570X, I believe.
Very
Yep.
nice.
I know that you can get massacred for saying this in the PC Master Race subreddit, but I never got the appeal of RGB. It's just a bunch of blinking lights. Why do you need all
It
that?
gives you 200 more FPS. What are you on about?
The red
That's
makes
right.
it go faster. You don't understand.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. All
I
right.
just want to feel like
I
I'm
thought
in
it was.
space
I thought.
station.
Yeah.
I thought
Blue
green made.
teraflops.
So wait. Green gives you more resolution.
No,
right?
green makes it more power efficient.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
what
that
does
makes
red
sense.
do? Most of my stuff is red.
Makes it go
Mine's
faster.
orange.
Oh,
What
really?
about
Yeah.
orange?
Yeah.
What about
Cool.
orange? Give me
Orange.
details on orange.
It helps you see better at night.
Okay. All right. Fair
Hey,
enough.
I need
Yeah,
that. No.
No, those are just the safety. Those are
Yeah.
just the hazard
Really?
lights, right? Those are just the hazard lights.
Right,
Those
exactly.
help,
Blue makes your stuff run cooler.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
Purple.
Mine is like on
Purple increases your resolution.
changing.
If you put pink lights on your PC, it'll just float. Like your PC just
Why can't you do
levitates.
all?
You could.
Like I've
Can't-
got 3 fans on the front that like alternate colors.
Yeah.
So I've got everything.
Yeah, just
Like,
do a few.
mine is, like,
That's the point of RGB,
make
right?
out.
Just to make it look like unicorn vomit.
Mhm.
I don't super duper care about RGB. Like, give you an idea, like my keyboards and like case lighting and like RAM and whatnot is all set to a white, except for my CPU.
Look at
Nice.
that. Look at that vomit.
Yeah,
Like,
except for
literally,
my
look at it.
CPU water
Shoot,
block,
man.
which I currently have set to pink right now. And so yeah, it's like I don't go super crazy with RGB. I just do like just some basic case lighting and whatnot. And
Sure.
honestly, I think RGB RAM looks kind of tacky in most cases. So if they sold it, I would have gotten non-RGB RAM, but they didn't sell it.
Sure.
So
Okay.
yeah. Anyway.
I just try to go for, maybe this is boring as heck, but I just try to go for a general black theme. Like my PC case is black, my keyboard and
Blackout,
microphone and
yeah.
monitors are black. Yeah, cabinet back here, TV,
Yeah.
entertainment center. I just like the consistency there. I think it works really well. But
So yeah, I
that's
want to
just me.
one day do this really nice white build, but white PC parts are still just like a pain in the ass to find. So
Plus, it like all the blemishes and potential stains or whatever shows up a lot better on white. So I feel like you'd have to do a little more maintenance in order to keep it looking okay. But
I don't know about you, but I use my PC top as a pizza holder.
unless I want to, I don't have my webcam, so y'all can't see it. But unless I want to like reach up as a pizza holder, then I can't. Yeah. Oh, there's this really stupid Linus Tech Tip videos that's like 6 or 7 years old at this point, where they do like a vent fan on top of a PC as like a pizza warmer to keep their pizza warm.
That's really stupid.
Yeah.
Andrew, imagine trying to call into AMD or whatever the CPU you got for it, trying to get a refund on a broken CPU, and they ask,
Yeah.
okay, what was the cause? You're like, I got some mozzarella in there.
Yeah.
I tried to grill some pepperoni on it.
Oh, there's this. There's also this
That's
YouTube
really
video I
random.
watched where a guy takes his cooler off. This is an old AMD FX CPU, and he literally cuts like a piece of steak on it, and it's really funny. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Medium rare.
funny.
It actually looks pretty well done. It didn't look that great. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but yeah, I just thought it was funny. Okay. Anyway,
Go, go.
and then the only other game that I tried playing was Dark Souls 1, but whatever like mod
heard
I
of it.
did for like the PC fits mod or whatever,
Sure.
whatever settings I tweaked in there ended up crashing my game. So, and I haven't bothered putting in the time or effort to fix it quite yet. So, yeah.
How'd you mod it though?
Huh? It's the PC fits mod. That's like the essential one because I don't have the remastered edition. I have the original edition, and so it's like the original edition on PC has its resolution locked as well as the frame rate locked and a couple other like non-PC MR-esque things, you know, that you don't really like to
Right,
see in
sure.
your video.
Does it
So-
have all the Blighttown frame rate issues as well?
No,
Or
it
it's
doesn't
like-
actually.
Oh, really? Huh. Interesting.
So
Well, that's what it fixes, right? That's what the mod fixes.
yeah, it does. The
Yeah,
mod is, and it's like when I first played through Dark Souls 1 on PC, it's like I had used it just fine with no real issue. So I don't know why this is any different. Anyway,
Play it on Switch. Just get it on Switch. You're good.
No.
It's
I'm
fine.
gonna spend $40 on a Dark Souls 1.
Well, better
I'm
than
like a
not playing.
13-year-old game.
Hey, better than not playing it at all. Am I right?
True. Yeah. So
No,
I'll,
you're not
I'll
right.
eventually put in the
Better
time and
than
effort
not
to try and
play
fix
at
it
all and to
one
burn
day.
it.
But I think in the
Let's-
meantime, I will do another run of Sekiro.
Another run.
Yeah. All right.
What is this, number
Have you
7?
played? Have you played? What's the other one? The on PS4.
Bloodborne? Bloodborne?
No. The one that just came out. I can't remember what it's called. Like the Sieger or whatever it
The
is.
Surge?
No. No, it's like a Souls-like game. It's not made by the same people or anything, but it's very similar. It looks very similar. It
Oh,
looks
okay.
Oh,
extremely
Code
hard.
Vein? Code Vein?
No.
Ashing?
Oh,
No.
Neo?
No.
Oh my
We're throwing
God,
all these
okay.
souls like we're
That
throwing
is
all these
going
souls.
nowhere.
Elden Ring.
No. No.
Yeah, Taylor, Elden Ring came out on
Damn
PS4
it.
2 weeks ago. When did you know?
Damn it.
Neo 2.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
No, you
Andrew said
didn't.
Neo.
Yeah, he said Neo.
Ah, I thought you said Nia.
No.
We're just
oh.
over here
Nia
listing all.
Automata.
We're just over here listing all the souls likes, just trying to figure out what the heck Anthony's coming to.
No,
coming up
I
with.
haven't played Neo 2.
I'm sorry. You have
Yeah.
played it or you haven't
No, I
played
have not.
it? You should. It looks really good.
It's
It
pretty
does look
wild.
good.
Maybe this. I think maybe
Does
this
look
next
good.
week I might go and get the Final Fantasy VII remake and play that.
Oh, that's my favorite souls like.
Oh yeah, I know. It's completely off like Souls-like games, right?
Yeah. Sure, fair.
Yeah,
enough. Did you ever
Aerith
play-
has the Dart Soul, and that's why Sephiroth impales her at the end of the game. Anyway,
Spoiler.
how old is Final Fantasy VII? Hold on.
I mean, there are people who have.
97, right?
There are people that young
Oh my
kids these
goodness,
days
animal.
who haven't played the original and they're gonna want to hop into the remake. You gotta watch your spoilers. And I mean, technically, that doesn't even happen in this.
I was
in
gonna
this
say
it's
It is a
just part one.
23-year-old game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is. But there's still some people out there that like haven't played it and they want to get into the remake or whatever. I don't know. Do what you will.
Okay.
I
I
was
dare.
listening. Okay,
Okay. Anyway.
total side note.
Yeah,
I was
good lord.
listening to this podcast the other day. They were talking about this exact topic about how you have to watch spoilers around the remakes of older things. And someone brought up the example of that. Did you guys ever hear about that Little Women movie that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 200-year-old book, yet they had to watch their spoilers on it because of the movie that came out recently. So
Jesus God, really?
that was funny
Okay.
to me. I don't know.
Let's see. Darth Vader is Luke's father. Luke and Leia are brother and sister, which makes that kiss kind of awkward. Yeah.
Ned Stark, guys.
Yeah.
No. A
Yeah.
popular theory I've heard recently is that the Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is the best Star Wars movie.
I mean, that's just an opinion, man.
Hey,
I'm just joking.
You know what? I'm going to run
Hey.
through the housekeeping stuff really quick. The main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. There you can find all the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, etc., etc. Head on over there. Check us out. On the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, you can find a link to the community Discord where you can chat with everyone you see on the podcast, as well as all the other staff members on COG. So head us up over there. We have 2 Facebook What?
Did you just say CEG?
I said COG.
I thought it said CEG.
Okay, anyway, we have two Facebook pages, one for the main site and one for the podcast. They are facebook.com/the Network for the main site, and then facebook.com/PowerUpPodcast for the podcast Facebook page. And then at Twitter at the COD Network, youtube.com/Culture of Gaming, Instagram at Culture of Gaming, twitch.tv/Culture of Gaming. There we go. We're good. We're good. And yeah, and then if you also find a repository of all the previous podcasts that we've ever recorded on pretty much wherever you can find podcasts, albeit Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addicts, Podbean, etc., and as well as a video repository of all the podcasts on the YouTube channel, which is once again youtube.com/Culture of Gaming. So jumping into, I don't want to say the structure of the show, because the show honestly has no structure this week. There's literally nothing going on. We have a few minor topics, a brief water cooler convo, and then if we need to like pad time or anything, I'm gonna be honest, we'll kind of, I don't want to say derail it, but you know, we'll figure something out.
Oh,
Anyway.
we'll derail.
We're gonna talk about all the Souls-likes that Taylor has played.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Anyway, so the first bit of news this week is, well, Sony announced an announcement. I love it when this happens. The PS5 reveal event has been announced to take place on June 4th at like 1 p.m. Pacific time, I think it was. And yeah, Sony says the focus will be on gameplay, which if they manage to show at least a minute of gameplay from any given games or all the games combined, they will be doing better than the Yetspots event that was a couple weeks ago. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Isn't it funny
What?
how how Sony has like no details about the console hardly, hasn't shown it, yet they're still going to get ahead of the ball game with regard to gameplay and gaming.
Is that a little bit
We'll
jumping
find
the
out.
gun there, right?
Yeah, we'll find out.
Hey, but guys, it's happening. Finally.
I mean,
Jeez,
that's-
details.
That's what they're
Details.
saying, at least.
We've been waiting for this, right? I've been waiting for this.
Well, yeah, but I swear we talked about last week how Sony will probably do an event in June, because that's about when E3 would be to reveal it,
Been saying
right?
that for quite some time.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty predictable. Yeah, it's easy to tell how this is
And
probably
that's-
gonna happen. But
That's also usually when they announce. I think that's when they announced the PS4 as well in June sometime,
Okay.
I believe. So that's the thing. Like a couple months ago, the main Sony dude was like, "Yeah, we're gonna stick to like the PS4 timeline,"
Uh-huh.
and then everybody freaked out. So,
Yeah.
kind of.
It's like, okay, I don't understand. It's like Sony has the historical precedent for like doing the reveals in like June or whatever. Then it's like, why were people freaking out for months? Like, oh my god, Sony hasn't revealed anything. You know? It's
Microsoft's
like,
better.
exactly.
100%.
So I guess it's safe to assume that they're probably going to be revealing some games, not just showing games that they've already announced before.
You would
guys have any
hope, right?
predictions? You would hope, probably.
You
have
know
any
what?
predictions?
Elden Ring launch title on PS5.
No.
No, Elden Ring is coming in the year 2077.
You heard it here first, folks.
It'll be featured in Cyberpunk 2077.
You can only
As in,
play
yeah.
Elden Ring by playing Cyberpunk 2077. They built Elden Ring into
Exactly.
Cyberpunk.
Exactly.
Mark my words, Atari is going to make a comeback, and it will be Elden Ring will be the first game to release on their console. You heard it
Okay.
here first.
Okay.
All right. And then, I don't know, the other piece for this story to introduce is an interview given to gamesindustry.biz. Sony's Jim Ryan, who is SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment's president and CEO, said, he talked about, it's like, we don't anticipate any sort of like delays or anything due to, the pandemic that was going on, went out with the PS5. We're still planning to launch it this holiday, and we're going to launch all over the world. That's all fine and good. The biggest takeaway from this interview was the fact that Jim Ryan mentioned that Sony isn't going to, quote, hold back, end quote, the next-gen hardware on the PS5 by porting new PS5 games to PS4. So you will not get, like, it's like, how Breath of the Wild released on both Switch and Wii U and everything. Yeah. You won't be getting that whole situation on
So we're getting Godfall.
PS5.
Godfall?
Yeah.
On PS4? Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, interesting.
I thought they mentioned that like any game that comes out for the PS4 in like July also needs to be able to like come out for the PS5. Like should be able to run on PS5.
Well,
they
okay.
might be doing it the other way. So PS4 games are going to go on PS5, but not
Yeah.
the other way around.
Yeah, and that's what he's saying here. It's like it won't be
Okay,
the other way around. But yeah, Andrew, you're 100% correct. I think it's like Last of Us 2 will be on PS5 probably. Ghost of Tsushima probably.
Destiny 2 apparently. I don't know why they're keeping that around.
Oh,
Yay.
Siege as well is also going to be on PS5
Okay.
apparently. Yep. But like I don't know. I'm feeling pretty confident to be honest. I reckon they've like kept a lid on everything. No leaks. No nothing.
decently solid so far. Yeah.
So far.
I reckon they're gonna blow it out of the park. To be honest.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna throw out boldest prediction of this entire episode.
Oh,
We're
boy.
either going to see God of War 2 or Spider-Man 2. One of those two things. Probably not both, but one of those two. Because both of those studios have kept pretty silent for a while, right?
I still think it's too early for God of War 2.
too early. That's
I
fair.
know what it's
It's like
gonna
2
be.
years old, so yeah, maybe.
Knowing the
Horizon
amount of like
Zero Dawn
love
2.
and care that goes into the first God of War, I can't imagine. Like, yeah,
Sure.
can't
But I
imagine
mean, now that
2-year dev cycle.
you know, now that they have the assets and the art style, I mean, I can imagine that it'd probably be a little less work, right?
Maybe.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, but all I'm saying is that they got to have a killer app of some sort, and one of those two games would make the most sense in my mind, considering the enormous success of both of the originals. So I don't know.
Killzone 4.
That's my exactly.
I think
You
you
don't need anything else.
mentioned Horizon. I think that's more reasonable.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Yeah, sequel to
100%, I
that.
reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
That would be
fair enough.
fun.
That was like leaked, or not leaked, but like kind of leaked. I guess one of
There
the
was, like-
voice actors or whoever
yeah.
it was said that they were working on it.
Yeah.
This is like a good 6 months ago now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Horizon One Dusk.
There you go.
Fascinating.
Relatively boring.
Horizon
I'm
1
sorry.
afternoon.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Something like that.
yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, ought to be interesting, right? When was it? Next Thursday?
June 4th,
June
Thursday,
4th.
right? Yeah, that
Wow,
should be
cool.
Thursday.
That's a
Pretty recent.
Thursday? Oh shoot, it is.
No, it's
Huh.
No, it's
a Monday.
no, it can't be. My birthday is on.
Oh
the
no,
3rd, and
no, it
that's
is a Thursday. Oh, I got
yeah,
my
yeah.
calendar mixed up. My bad. Yeah,
It's Thursday.
yeah, it's Thursday. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
You know, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Microsoft sucks.
Maybe you're gonna shut your windows down in a second.
Yeah, really.
Be careful.
Bill Gates
I
is going to
mean,
launch
yeah.
the executable, the delete
I don't
system
know, that
32.executable.
What's her name? Cortana's listening.
Yep, always listening.
Yep.
Cortana did not like that.
She's gonna report back to Sergeant Johnson. Tell him to
He's
blow up your
dead.
house, Anthony. Oh,
Cortana
right.
will remember that. And
He's dead.
Nuke PC.
Cortana always remembers.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sony realistically does have so we've definitely done a lot more Series X centric events, like just in terms of sheer quantity. But I would debate the quality of these events and everything, because I mean, I don't know, the gameplay event that Xbox did, there was barely any gameplay. You know,
Yeah.
it was so it was like
Yeah, that's
people
fine.
weren't super duper impressed with that event and all, you know, so it's like that was kind of another misstep for Microsoft. Sony has a chance just kind of come out swinging, you know, and they have a chance to make a really, really good impression with this whole thing.
100%.
Yeah,
I could
they
see a
just,
new Call of Duty maybe on like something like that.
that'd be. Oh
As well.
yeah, no, that's about that time, huh? I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
What
Kinda cool.
are the Sony preferred? What am I saying? What are Sony preferred developers? So like developers that have like a contract with Sony to like announce all their stuff on like
Bandai
Sony
Namco typically, pretty buddy with them. Konami, pretty buddy with them.
Yeah.
Capcom recently.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see something from Ghostwire Tokyo at this event. Remember that game?
Oh yeah, that is a game that exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from Bethesda, right?
Yeah, that was shown at the Bethesda conference, but Bethesda's not
Right.
doing it. Tango Interactive is doing it.
Tango.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Probably
Uh,
see some Man-Eater as well.
Really?
Kind
That
of-
just came out.
kind
Yeah,
looking forward to
it
that
did come
game.
out already.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out last
Oh.
Friday.
Okay. I thought it was coming out next week. Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
legitimately, and as much, you know, as easy it is to turn this into a meme, if there is any company that would make sense to for Bandai Namco to deal with, it's Sony. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they showed a little bit of Elden Ring footage, but
right.
I don't know. It makes
I
more
think
sense than
yeah.
for the Microsoft event. Yeah, it makes more
I-
sense for the Microsoft event in my mind. I don't know.
I think it just how far along that game actually is. It's like the
Right.
real
That's right.
question about
Yeah.
it.
I don't know.
FedEx Simulator 2.0.
That wouldn't be Elden Ring. It'd be like
That's-
hopefully a more difficult version of Dark Souls. I don't know. The one thing that I guess apparently the one thing that holds back Dark Souls as difficulty is that Miyazaki, the director, has to be able to beat every game that they put out, and so the company describes him as not being very good at video games. So
But he's beating
And I
those
say-
games, so-
I
Yeah.
say thank God. 'Cause
Yeah,
if he
so-
were any better, we would all be suffering.
I mean, all I gotta do is put him on easy difficulty.
They don't have.
Like,
Souls games still have difficulty. Like
wait, I thought Dark Souls 3 did.
no,
Nope.
From Software has never put a difficulty like tweaker in their games.
Yeah. Well, you can make
Well,
it harder.
Kind of. You can make it artificially harder, mechanically
Yeah.
more difficult, or like mechanically penalizing.
Yeah,
but,
okay,
yeah.
sure. I
There's no
thought
like
Dark Souls
easy
3
medium.
introduced it, sure.
Oh no.
From Software says, "Screw you, get good."
Pretty much.
Nice.
So yeah, really balls in Sony's court. I mean, there's not much more in the hardware reveal that we can get outside of what the bots looks like.
Yeah, we'll probably see
Sure.
something from the box and maybe like, I don't know, a controller demo or something perhaps.
That'd be
See
interesting.
that.
Even though they've kind of already like said what the heck's going on with the controllers and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. I kind of feel like Sony's gonna clean up again.
Think so? Okay.
Got a feel in me bones.
All right.
The controller is a good point, though. I mean, I imagine with whatever game that they announce, they probably will have a side by side of whatever. What's the name of the trigger? The adaptive trigger. They'll probably.
Oh
have
yeah.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
think
yeah,
there'll be an
triggers from the
emphasis
side.
on the controller?
Oh,
Haptic
100%.
That would
feedback.
be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
The
You
most
may have to see,
detailed
like,
thing we
a-
know about the PS5 is the controller. I love it.
Yeah,
I would
right.
love
Good.
to see
Good.
the like UI and like the home screen stuff.
Mhm.
That would be like that's really oddly like not exciting, but I'd like to know what it would look like on my television. You know,
Right,
when I
yeah.
Eventually plug it in,
Yeah.
because the OSs are always like if you look at Microsoft's OS or not
Oh
Microsoft,
my
but Xbox's OS, it's like it's very slow and not great.
Right.
Oh, it used to be so good. Like OG Xbox One, UI was so good, and then they just cluttered it. Like it was
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
believe they said that it's not going to change much,
yeah.
which is not great.
Kind of a bummer.
idea. They might change it now, but who knows?
Mhm.
But so like I wonder if like Sony will switch it up drastically with their little tab buttons or whatever you want to call them, little windows.
Okay. I'd
But I
imagine
think it
it'll,
works
maybe.
fine.
yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be like kind of a logical evolution into the PS5 with their UI and everything, because like kind of like how the PS3 into the PS4 is kind of like a logical evolution. So yeah.
That's true.
I definitely prefer the PS4's UI to the Xbox One's. I will say that. Switch UI
Yeah,
is
I think
fine.
I think,
Yeah.
I think I prefer the PS4s to PS3 too. So they're probably going to make it even more basic, perhaps,
Mhm.
Okay.
which would be good.
Yeah.
Maybe less social
yeah.
stuff because like I don't know, people don't interact with it as much anyway. So
Right.
Yeah.
we'll
Like-
see. I don't know.
Your console doesn't need to be in media.
A media
System.
center. Yeah.
Yep, that's fair.
Focus on gaming.
All right. So kind of shifting along over to another bit of Sony news. This happened earlier this past week, I believe. We got a state of play that was what, like 30 minutes long for The Last of Us 2?
20.
20?
20,
Okay,
around
it was like
20,
20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the last living PS Vita owner gets killed. That's very unfortunate.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Playing Hotline Miami too.
Oh, interesting.
Which, guys, I mean, good news. We're going to be able to play Hotline Miami in the apocalypse. So there's a little bit something good to come out of this.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
As for-
I did
as
not
for the
watch
actual-
this because I really don't care.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. So to the people who did watch it, Andrew, did you watch it?
I did.
Okay, Andrew and Ethan, you both watched it then.
That's right.
How's it looking?
I mean, it looks like it's an absolutely gorgeous game.
Okay.
I think the main takeaway for me, anyway, was that there's a strange sort of different approach to combat. And that I noticed that there was like this sort of dodge move that you're able to do.
Uh-huh.
Imagine kind of like in the way that you can move around in Bloodborne. Like you have this sort of step back, sort of, I don't know, combo attack, which would be new for not only The Last of Us, but just most of the Naughty Dog third-person shooters in general.
Okay.
So that ought to be kind of interesting. It'll be the mechanic, or the combat will be at least a little more in depth than just mashing the square button over and over. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, Ellie can swim now. She
Oh,
couldn't
that's
do that
good.
in the first.
Finally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know, right? She finally learned how to do it. You know.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Does it
It
look
looks-
drastically different than the E3 2018 demo?
I don't remember that. to be
Okay,
honest.
never mind.
I'm not
But
sure.
it's I got a very focus on stealth. Like I think it's gonna be more stealth based than the first game. I know it was
Yeah.
more. Yeah, it was pretty stealth based.
Yeah.
But this one looks even more so because you're like dealing with like your scent trail. Like so, these dogs are gonna be able to smell your
Yeah.
scent.
Wow.
So like moving around is like key. It looks like, and just kind of like if you are seen, you can flee and kind of reset the stealth situation at least.
You have the ability to crawl prone as well now, which you
Mhm.
couldn't do in the first game. So like imagine like Metal Gear Solid 5 style.
Nice.
It just looks a little bit more fleshed out combat wise.
Okay.
More options. You don't have to always just shoot this guy and shoot that guy. You'll be able to sneak around people and a little
Ooh.
easier.
You can craft the silencer, which makes me very, very excited. You can craft a silencer for your pistol, so you can pop enemies.
In the first one too. I think.
No, you couldn't. No. I just no. Yeah. I'm very certain. I mean, you had the bow and arrow, which was probably the closest thing you had to like a silent weapon. Even
Yeah.
that though would like
I
like
remember
alert.
like putting a bottle on your gun or something like.
I mean, I just played it last week. I'm pretty sure. there are
yeah,
actually
I
silencers
believe
in the
you.
game.
But,
Yeah, but
Um,
no, silencers in video games are so much fun because they, especially in stealth games, because they allow you to continue to go around popping enemies in the head without worry about being found, which was always kind of a frustration for me in the original Last of Us, was that I couldn't use my weapons unless if I wanted to get into a firefight of some sort. So that ought to be cool,
Okay.
of course. Yeah, in general, I think there were just a lot more crafting options as well. Like you open up the crafting menu and there's like a whole bunch of stuff. I don't recall all of them off the top of my head, but Silencer was one I took the most notice of. And then they also teased that there were going to be new types of enemies, new types of like clickers.
Really? I thought they kind of cut the
Ew.
clickers from the game.
they're still there.
Okay.
Right. No,
Considering
they're
that like
still there.
none of the story. Never mind.
Yeah. They're definitely still there. They have like I don't remember which ones. Maybe Ethan can talk about which ones are in. I thought it was just clickers in the first one.
So in the first one, there are clickers and there are bloaters, which are like the bigger fellas
Okay.
that have like armor and they can shoot out grenades and stuff. Those are still in this one, but I believe, and then I think there's one more enemy type. I forget it off the top of my head.
There were like
And then-
run fast ones. I don't know. if
That's
that
right.
was- Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and then Neil Druckmann kind of cheekily said, "Oh, and there's one more enemy type, but we're going to save that for when you can actually play the game itself." And then it cut to black, and it.
Hey, looky here. They're not going to spoil the entire game. Whoop-de-doo. About damn time somebody did that.
Yeah.
I'm
like slightly salty with the games industry, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of raises the point I was trying to bring up. The Last of Us releases in about 20 days or so, right?
20.
And it's like, did we really need to see an extra 20 minutes of gameplay this close to release? Like, I really think they just need to release the game at this point. Like.
Well, they were going to, right?
Well,
But then,
yeah, but
Continue the momentum forward a little bit. I mean, it's.
you watch a minute of the state of play every day until
Right.
Last of Us 2 comes out anyway.
I mean, admittedly, it's kind of dark times for that community, right? They had to shut down the subreddit or like disable commenting, in fears that a lot of people would post spoilers and stuff. It's really just not a great time in general for the studio or that community, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess they just wanted to kind of boost morale a little bit.
Okay.
By also releasing a gameplay demo of an incredibly dark game. So
Okay.
yeah.
different sort of morale boosting. But
Yeah, so I don't know. My like pessimism aside and everything, because I've seen the lates and I'm not super duper thrilled with it. If I'm gonna be honest, does the game actually look fun? Like legitimately, does it seem like it would be fun?
Fun's an interesting word.
yeah.
Lord.
Because it looks brutal, like extremely
Yeah.
violent.
Okay.
Mhm. Here's the thing. The thing about Last of Us is that I mean I've played a lot of violent video games before. I played Doom earlier this year, but I feel like in a lot of video games the violence can be kind of comical.
I feel like Doom kind of falls into that category just because of how
Yeah.
absurdly violent it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like you can't even take it seriously.
Or like Mortal
Last of Us,
Kombat, right? Like,
Yeah.
right? Sure. Last of Us, at the meantime, it just feels so ominous. It's just a game that I'm not going to actively have fun with. In fact, the entire time watching that video, I just kind of had this straight sullen face on, like, I know what kind of experience I'm in for, but at the same time, I enjoy that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Okay.
it
I don't know.
definitely looks tense and like very visceral, and like, I don't know. It's coming out in a time where like we are actually in a pandemic. And,
Yeah,
like,
kind of
right.
weird, right? Yeah.
This
It's
world
just a lot.
is it's a
It's
lot.
going to be a lot to absorb. It's going to be a
Okay.
lot to absorb for sure. And I mean, that's coming from a guy. I mean, I've seen some fairly violent stuff, so it's just going to be a lot. But Andrew, I'm curious. Have you avoided the spoilers?
I have. I'm
Nice.
This first like gameplay thing is like really the first in recent memory that I remember like watching actual like seeing the gameplay. I haven't like really sat down and watched like several minutes of gameplay.
Okay.
Besides what was that, Wednesday or whatever.
Nice. Yeah, I'm generally just kind of shut out from that entire community in general. But yeah, the same deal for me. That was the first gameplay I've seen in a little while. So
The moment, I don't know, it's like in the leaks and everything, really wasn't an emphasis on the moment-to-moment gameplay. It was like the gameplay, which I assume was modified from like the standard gameplay during like the big story events that were going on. So that's
Sure.
what the leaks kind of centered around.
and I've always held that Last of Us for me was more of a story that happens to be in a video game as opposed to a game that I actively look forward to playing.
Sure.
So in general, if the story in that game isn't as engaging or interesting or conclusive as the first one was, then I'm just not going to like it as much, because in general I tend not to like the gameplay as much as I like the story. So as such, I mean, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic hearing both yours, Anthony's and Taylor's pessimism towards the spoilers. I assume that it's going to be very different than the second game. I don't want to know. Different than the first game.
Yeah.
I don't want to know, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
Okay. I guess.
And
Go ahead.
As someone who played a lot of multiplayer, actually, like, I guess I do enjoy that gameplay style.
Oh, really?
Shooting style of it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I guess I'm looking forward just to like the improvements on all that stuff, because I do like third-person shooters quite a bit.
Well, my thing is, I enjoy, as a third-person shooter, I enjoy Uncharted 4 a lot more. That to me is like the peak of that studio's shooting, and then Last of Us is like maybe like a tier below that.
I think for me it was like especially in the multiplayer, is like making your shots count. Like, you didn't have a lot of ammo. You had to make sure you hit like your shot, and it felt really satisfying when you did do something cool. So maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah,
Is Last of Us 2 didn't have multiplayer? I forget.
No, I
No,
don't.
it's
They're not putting
okay.
multiplayer in there.
I guess
At least not at launch.
Okay.
I'm
Did
not
Uncharted
sure.
4 have multiplayer at launch?
I want to say no, but I could be
believe
completely
so.
wrong.
I think it did.
It did. Okay.
Really?
I think it did.
Okay. I know they eventually added it, but yeah, if they had it at launch, then. Last of Us 1 had multiplayer at launch, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
With the Last of Us 2, not going into any spoilers or anything, obviously, but like as you said and as Taylor said as well, like him and I have both seen spoilers relating to it. It seems like the gameplay is going to be relatively the same, in my opinion, or like tweaked a bit, as Andrew said. Hopefully that's what happens, but I feel like the story, like for a game like that, it's the same with Uncharted. It's the same with any like single player experience. You got to have a decent story. Without a decent story, the game goes to hell. So you can have the best gameplay in the world, that's all good, but like, yeah. So I don't know, like, to me, according to these spoilers and stuff, the story is not going to be good at all. So, but it sounds like the gameplay is going to be pretty decent. So,
out of curiosity, Anthony and Taylor, why did you guys want to look up the spoilers?
I had no vested interest in the game, so I was just doing it was just like whatever. I don't even care, right? So it's like I figured it's just like if it's like when they first came out and everything. If they're not going to, or it's like if I'm not going to like actively avoid them, I might as well just read them now or whatever, right? Because chances are I'll probably come across them anyway. So
yeah.
Fair enough.
For me, to be honest, it was like I played the first one. I actually played the first one like 3 times, I think.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So the first time I didn't actually finish it. The second time I finished it, and the third time I got it on PS4. And I haven't finished that, but I've almost finished it. So like I like the Last of Us games. I like stuff, but I like all Naughty Dog games, basically, like all Uncharted. But I
me too.
had seen some whispers about like spoilers and stuff on like Twitter and whatnot. I honestly was very looking forward to the game, but I think my curiosity got the better of me. So I was just like, and I was in a voice call, and Sean, who's a guy that works on the side and does like some of our graphic design, he's like, "Hey, he wants to know," and I'm like, "Oh, whatever." So then he like went through them. So yeah.
Fair enough. Well, hey, if there's any benefit you got out of it, you're confident in your decision now, and you can save $60, right?
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's totally fair.
yeah, okay.
Or get on sale a couple months later if you really wanted to check it out yourself.
Right, yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
moving on to another Sony-centric studio. It's about Kojima Productions. You know, in an interview given to the Japanese website Live Door, Kojima said that regarding Death Stranding, that we had stated the amount needed to be profitable, so I think Death Stranding did well enough to be called a success, including the recoupment of development costs. It will be released in the PC version on July 14th as well, and we've got enough money to prepare for the next project, so there's no need to worry. And then the interviewer followed up on this reply, and Kojima revealed that a big project his studio was working on had been canceled. He didn't seem to take it too badly, though, saying that I can't talk about this because it's still in the planning stages, but we are working behind the scenes. Just recently, a big project fell through, so I'm a bit upset for that, but that often happens in the gaming industry. And then, do you guys remember the like Metal Gear Solid and PT stories and everything, and Silent Hill stories that we talked about? How it's like, oh, Kojima and Sony might have brokered a deal with Konami to have. Anyway, Kojima said that's completely false. At least he hasn't heard anything about it himself. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Sure.
This company's working behind his back. That's what's going on.
right, 100%.
I mean, first of all, good on them. I'm glad to hear that Death Stranding did well. I mean, that's a really, really ambitious game, totally unique. I never played it myself, but I'm just glad to see that despite all the criticism it got, Kojima's he's still doing okay, you know?
Yeah, game was definitely very experimental, and I think that's the most I should say about it.
Yeah. Even if you didn't like it, it's like you probably hadn't played a game like it before.
It was an experience, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. But they're working on another one, on another thing. What
Yeah.
could
I
that
feel
be?
like most of the sales probably came from hype, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it was a day one purchase for me, right? So, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I got a lot of mine, so.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So-
I mean,
Yeah.
something that big, if you experience it, is always interesting. Like I said, whether you enjoy it or not. Like, I didn't beat it. Maybe I'll finally go back and beat it. But
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is fun. Let's never do this again.
yeah, or the opposite. Like, this sucks. Why am I playing this?
Yeah, you know?
But at least you tried, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. We have no idea. I feel like we can't even predict what he'll do next.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like you look at Death Stranding. You're like, that game. We didn't even know what it was until it came out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows if they come up with their own IP or whatever. It'll be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Yeah, do you think, I don't know, do you think it's like whatever next project Kojima's working on, it'll follow a similar marketing strategy to Death Stranding, where they kind of just, like, release these really weird, like, 3-minute, like, cinematic trailers and then have people piece it together month by month, you know? Okay.
Possible. I'd like them to work on something smaller, just so they could get more games kind of cycled through.
Okay. That makes sense.
But because like they're always like these gigantic.
Yeah. Yeah,
like-
Death Stranding took a while.
Yeah,
That's
it was
expensive, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5, 4. They're all huge, like
Yeah.
just ginormous games. I wish they'd work on something a little smaller.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know, like, he could even do like a, I don't know, maybe an FPS probably isn't a good idea for him. Gee, I really don't know. Like, Metal Gear Solid was such a good series,
Uh-huh.
and like, most of the
Video.
games are absolutely amazing. Shut up, Ethan. So,
Metal Gear is
So-
amazing, Ethan. I don't know what you're on about.
it is. It's absolutely
Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 is one of the best video games I've
All
ever
the Metal Gear
played.
games are good, man.
The rest are
Every one of them.
trash. They're all trash.
Every one of them are great.
How do I kick
Trash.
someone off the podcast?
do it? No. So I don't know. Like, I feel like if you did something like that again, not Metal Gear related, obviously, because he's legally not allowed to. But like a completely new IP, like what he did with Death Stranding, but like same kind of, feel as Metal Gear Solid.
Uh-huh.
think
Stealth
everybody
action
would love
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
like
more
everybody would
tactical
love it.
espionage action style.
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing. Give it to
I'm
me.
gonna go out on a limb. I want
Nobody
Kojima
cares,
to
Ethan.
I hope that they hire some really competent translators,
Why?
because all the Kojima games I've ever played have this
Oh.
dialogue that feels stunted and stilted and awkward and just obtuse.
No, that's just the dialogue writing. It
I-
doesn't sound.
Yes.
No, it does. It doesn't. Ethan, it doesn't even read better in native Japanese either.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, then hire a new writer. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Kojima
Kojima
writes
is
all the
part of
dialogue
it. I'm
himself.
sure he writes a lot of that.
Yeah,
All right,
Kojima
he
writes most, if not all, the dialogue.
Kojima should come up with the concepts, because that man is insane, and
Sure,
I'm on board with conceptually the ideas that he comes up with.
Uh-huh.
He should hire some writers, though. That's all I say.
He has like one or two assistant writers that he dragged with him from Konami that helped him write Metal Gear, and that's about it. Yeah.
We should get more.
This is like Ethan's opinion on anime
Yes,
writing.
exactly. No. That's the thing, though. Metal Gear Solid is
You
just.
see, you know what? Hold on. I'm sorry.
anime-
Really quick.
Metal Gear Solid is just-
Every time this gets brought up, this whole anime translation thing, Ethan likes to bring up as a point of criticism. He's never able to provide any specific examples for it. Like that's the thing that kills me. It's just like, okay, specifically in say your name. Where's the translation bed? Specific scene.
I'll
Specific
go-
dialogue piece. Okay.
Listen, I'll go through and I'll show you some specific.
We need to, like,
I don't know.
Anthony,
I'm not sitting
we
there
need to,
taking
like,
notes the
group-
entire
we
time.
need
What
to-
do you want from me?
We need to like group watch it together, and then
Okay.
you need to go through.
Fine.
Okay, anyway, all right.
I'll just be sitting there laughing the entire time. No, that's
Well, I mean-
that's the thing, though. Metal Gear Solid, at its core, is just an anime, but with military
It
guns.
really is.
I
Yeah,
agree,
and
yeah.
it's great.
It's all, but that's the thing, though. It's like it's the worst parts from military gun simulations, and it's the worst part from anime, all mixed together, and a culmination of just.
You didn't like the guy on roller skates with the bombs? Come on.
Eric-
I did not like the.
He didn't like Revolver Ocelot meowing to call his troop.
Heretic.
And then every one of those games has just like this dull, drab color palettes where just everything you look at makes you want to vomit. I'm sorry. I would like to
No,
apologize
I mean
on
that's
behalf-
just actually how Russian forests look. It's not the prettiest thing in the world.
Yeah, I think it's just the realism aspect they're
Right.
going for, right?
Yeah.
Part of that actually, I think, is just the generation. PS2 and PS3 games just in
Weren't
general
great.
Don't have enough. Yeah, they don't have enough saturation. Just
Yeah.
in general, I feel like. But
This is like the whole
maybe.
HD gaming thing was still a very new thing, especially when MGS3 came out.
yeah,
That game
Metal
looks
Gear
so
Solid 5
good
looks
when
gorgeous.
it came out.
MGS3. MGS3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was
I just-
like crazy when that game came out. You're like, what? This
What
is the
about
game?
even like the PSP games were pretty decent, to be honest.
Peace Walker is
Like,
I haven't
amazing.
played those.
Peace
People like
Walker is
Peace
amazing.
Walker
Right.
a lot.
Yeah.
I played a lot of what was the first Portable Ops.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the other one that was on
Twin
PSP?
Snakes.
No, Twin Snakes is the GameCube gun.
Oh, is
Or
it? Okay.
Vita? I just let me Google this.
All right.
There's Portable
So
Ops. There's Acid, which was like a card game.
I don't know. Ethan's nuclear bad takes aside, I'm going to say, put this out there. I would really like Kojima and Ikumi Nakamura to hook up and see what they could come up with.
You just wanted them to go
Portable Ops.
full anime.
I don't know.
See.
Yeah, I don't know. Just see what sort of like brainchild they come up with for a game. You know.
Hey, what's the name of the yellow suit lady from MGS3? What, Maka Pluku or something?
What?
That's her. The yellow suit lady from Metal Gear Solid 3. What's her
Yellow
name?
suit lady?
She's in a yellow suit. Yeah, that's right. She looks like what's her name? The bride from Kill Bill.
Isn't that just Eva or Eva?
Eva. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most objectified character in all of video games. I hated
Wow.
that
Have you seen
so
Quiet?
much.
I was gonna say.
Have you seen
yeah,
Quiet?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Quiet.
Have you seen Meryl?
That's a Kojima thing.
Have you
Yeah, I
seen
hate
Sniper
that.
Wolf?
I
Yeah, but
hate that bullcrap, man.
Okay, wait, that's like a Japanese thing though, because that happens in anime quite a bit as well.
This is why I don't watch anime, man.
Wait, hold on. I wouldn't describe her suit as yellow. Let me look up Eva. Maybe.
It's like
Where's
a
a yellow
yellow.
top?
pale
It's
yellow.
very yellow.
It's
It's
like
very yellow.
like an Air Force kind of style, like
Yeah.
jumpsuit.
It's more.
It's very
I think it's more of a brown. It's like more of a beige, yeah. Maybe
like
you know what?
even
Maybe
like-
that's the reason why Ethan doesn't like the color palette. I think maybe it's because his TV's like color tuning is out of whack.
No, maybe he's
Okay then.
colorblind. How about
Okay then.
that?
That entire game is just filled with these dull brown and beige colors and dark green, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's just kind of how Russia works.
They
It
had
like-
that really cool section with the red brick in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was nice looking.
You
Yeah.
walk out into nature in real life, and it's just these vibrant, saturated green colors.
Yeah,
Even
but
in
but
You can
again,
tell
we're
me what
not
you want.
we're not in Russia though. That's the thing.
Australia? Have you
you
seen
can't
Australia?
tell me. You can't tell me that the entirety of Russia is just living in a sepia tone.
They are, believe me. They upgraded from black and white a couple of years ago.
Oh, jeez. Yes, sir.
Have you seen Australia?
Yeah,
Oh,
everything's
yeah.
tinted red in Australia.
I know that McDonald's.
Everything's brown. Everything's red. Unless you go to rainforests, which are like very nice. But like, if they made a game about Australia, like Forza Horizon 3, completely inaccurate. Like some of those greens and stuff in that. Oh my goodness! Like, this country is like very dead-y brown.
Rainbow.
Devoid of color, huh?
Everything's
I mean,
beige
yeah,
here in
very cool.
Arizona.
Yeah, like if you
Yeah.
did a game about Arizona or Australia, it'd be like,
But I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3, the entirety of the setting is just you're in the jungle, and in reality, I mean, that should just be these bright green colors, right? It's not. It's like all the greens are just dulled down, and I guess it's supposed to make it feel more, I don't know, gritty, edgy, something like that.
might be because it's cold, I guess, and like.
I don't know.
A big
Again,
part
I-
of
I
it,
think
a
it's
big
also-
part of it is because so 720p had a very limited color bit depth. So
yeah, that's fair.
I was gonna
Honestly,
say,
it's just a
yeah.
It's also just a generation.
they can just go like HDR green, everywhere. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
That's fair.
yeah.
That's
I
fair.
can't
And also,
remember if
were you
four
paying
was-
attention to the story at all, Ethan? Because Eva's entire existence is designed to seduce Snake.
Yes, I know, but it's
Okay.
just ridiculously over the top.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all those games are ridiculously over the top.
Kojima is ridiculously over the top.
ridiculously over the top in all the wrong ways. And then when it's not over the top, it's just a dull military shooter. Don't at me. Metal Gear Solid 5 is good. I'll justify that series' existence for that. If it took 4 games to get to the Phantom Pain, then
Okay,
I can
look,
accept that.
I
Which is
don't know,
weird
they were
because
raw.
like most of the Metal Gear community hates 5 with a passion.
Hey,
you
guess
are
what?
entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
guess what? The
Yeah.
Phantom Pain story sucks too, and the dialogue.
It's bad.
All the dialogue in all of those games sucks. It's the worst.
I'll concede the dialogue point. It's pretty hilariously bad at some points. Like,
I don't know. There's some pretty funny stuff.
yeah,
like when
I
Snake
love all
is,
the
like-
conversations between
It's-
Medic and
Yeah,
Snake
yeah.
in Metal Gear Solid 3.
It's
in one, too,
ironically
it's good.
Yeah.
It's like ironically funny though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there laughing my butt off at most of those conversations.
I feel like it's unironic because it was probably done fully like intentional to seem cool, and it's just bad.
Yeah.
So that makes it funny.
Yeah.
What are you on about? It's so realistic. I can't
he's-
name a more realistic game.
Freaking out about the gun, like the gun porn, like stuff. That stuff cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
Okay,
A lot
that
of the
said,
movies and
wasn't there-
everything when Snake is basically like, what's a movie?
That was funny. That was
Yeah.
funny. Fair enough. That said, what's it called? Wasn't there like Kojima made these parodies of Metal Gear Solid 3? It were just like these one-off movies that like,
I'm
that
sure.
were, like,
I'm sure it's pretty memeable.
it's very memeable.
Yeah,
And it's
the
actually
game's
pretty
memeable.
funny. Those are good. Those are good. I'll concede on that. But sorry, what were we talking about? I just hate.
We're
Metal
talking
Gear
about
Kojima.
Solid.
Kojima's Productions' latest thing following through and how they're kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
reconcepting their next project.
We're
Kojima,
talking about
buddy.
how I'm going to fire you again, even though you don't work anymore.
Yeah, the
Hey,
I don't know.
Kojima, buddy. I love you. Love Phantom Pain.
Don't though. You really don't.
Hire,
no.
hire a new rider. Hire a new rider. Just do it. Hire a new rider. That's all you need to do. That's okay.
Okay.
I cease and desist.
I think we must
This
always
is
remember
saying-
a couple things. That one, engravings give you no tactical advantage on the battlefield, and 2, when you get shot, you might suffer a gunshot wound.
And 3, you have to go into the menu to change camouflage every 5 minutes.
That's only in 3.
Yeah,
That's
that
only
was a
in
more
3.
than 3 thing. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
You
bad.
don't have to, man. You just rock
Wait,
the
wait,
shirt
wait.
with Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't call him
did you,
Naked Snake for a reason.
Did you play it on 3DS or like?
No, I played PlayStation 3.
Okay, because they
Those first 4
changed
games, PlayStation
some
3.
of the stuff. Like I played it on like PS2 and whatever,
Hmm.
but I also played it on PS3. I mean, the 3DS, they changed like the whole camouflage thing for that. So
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, they tweaked it
Interesting.
every which way.
a bit.
In conclusion, Metal Gear Solid sucks, and Anthony's fired, and I now own the website. Thank you.
Oh, excellent. No,
Sweet.
wait a
Taylor,
minute.
move on.
That
I'm
can't
the
happen,
boss. Taylor. No.
That
Taylor,
can't
move
happen.
I
on.
kind of want to play the original now.
right? Well, it's about
The
like the
original's
NES
funny in its
original,
own right.
like the original NES
like-
one.
Oh, I
Metal
have
Gear?
played through those. I meant Solid. Metal Gear
Oh,
Solid.
okay, like MGS one.
Yeah.
You're that
It's-
ninja who's been sneaking around.
It's just like the top down like
Oh,
stuff is so fun. So fun.
I think
Anyone
Metal Gear
played,
Solid 1. I think Metal Gear Solid 1 has some really good sound design. I really like the music and sound design.
It is very good. Yeah.
game.
It's very
Even
good.
the NES had really good music.
Oh,
has
really?
anyone played Metal Gear Rising?
I have not, no.
That is
Did
actually
he just suplex a giant robot?
a really good hack and slash game. I'm
Okay.
going to say right now. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
All right, so-
Quite good.
We're moving on here. Speaking, we have lots of like Japanese company news this week. Who put the RE stuff in the doc?
Me.
Okay, can you talk about this? Because I have no idea what this is.
I have an article that I'll read from.
Okay.
Capcom's Resident Evil Ambassador Program has issued an update for members who have reached a specific tier specifying an announcement of some sort will be made around June 10th. No further details as to what this announcement is relating to. Though for those unaware, the Resident Evil Ambassador Program offers members a wide variety of benefits. These include participating in events, priority game testing at game shows, an invitation to the Ambassador discussion, and invites to playtests. The latter of the two is meant to help with whatever game development Capcom may need, while the formers are likely since blah blah whatever that's all filler stuff. The announcement comes weeks after the rumor of Resident Evil 4 remake being in development, and though nothing indicates this is what that is. Okay, that's written very interesting. One does have to wonder what kind of feedback Capcom would be seeking if it were for an existing released game. Considering they have a full community of players from both the remakes and Resistance, we can't picture this being related to these games at all, outside of possible new content. Yeah, so it's
All right, how much do we
not-
want to bet that it's RE4 remake? Yeah,
Wait. No, raise your
I'm
hand
metaphorically
question a little
raising my hand as well here.
Yes.
bit. Does that game need a remake?
Probably. I don't know. Why not?
You know, if they remade it and like, I think I talked about this a while back, but if they remade it and like made like the aiming better, made like the combat better, and maybe literally like cut out sections of that game, or like fix the Ashley sections of that game,
Lord. Okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
then I think it would deserve.
You know
a remake. But
something?
make it just pretty, then no, it's not worth it. I don't think.
You know, but I mean, genuinely, Resident Evil 4 comes again from that era of unsaturated, colorless games. It's just like,
Yeah, it's a little
It's-
before that, but yeah.
no. I mean, if you look at that game, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't look that great.
Well,
Okay,
it's
Zoomer.
just, just grimy. It's got a filth to it.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like, have you seen the Resident Evil 2 remake? That's a grimy, filthy game, but it's also like gorgeous at the same time.
Well, yeah, but that new
It's got its
engine
own sort of
is
it's got its own sort of beauty to
spectacular.
it.
You know
Yeah,
what else
so-
has its own sort of beauty to it? The Russian jungle.
Cues the Soviet national theme.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I suppose. But I'd be down for Resident Evil 4 remake. That's the only Resident Evil game I've played all the way through. So
It's either, I don't know, I'm thinking it's either that or I'm willing to bet Capcom might try out like a pure like asymmetric PvP game based on Resident Evil.
Like they have that one. They already have that.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Project Resistance.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
all that game is? I thought that was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
pretty much? Yeah.
It's
Never mind
If you
then.
buy Resident Evil 3, I think that's the multiplayer like part of that
Wait,
game.
that came out? Oh shoot! Wow, what do you know?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
Oh, Project
Okay.
Resistance.
I don't know if it's any good,
Yeah.
but it's not your average. I've watched a little bit. It's not your average like 1v4 situation where like one person's like controlling cameras basically and
Hmm.
setting up traps, and then
Okay.
like you can occasionally spawn in with like the tyrant or some big monster.
Interesting.
But you're not I don't think you're controlling like all the individual zombies and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reminds me of like a Saw, like a weird Saw game where like you have to escape all these little rooms and stuff like that.
They're making a Resident Evil Okami edition. I don't know.
Well, I think it's the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil.
Okay.
Right, coming up. That's why they're doing this announcement, I'm gonna say. So I could see it being like maybe even like a Resident Evil, like something, one of the original, like a trilogy, not a trilogy remake, I guess. It'd probably be like either the original game or maybe even Resident Evil 0 remake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Or just showing off the new Resident Evil 8, which has kind of been rumored a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if they do anything in that RE engine, then I'm all about it. That game's
It's really good.
Yeah.
it looks so good. I just beat the second one pretty recently. And then I bought this game called, what's it called? Daymare 1988. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
heard of it.
yeah. Okay.
It was supposed to be originally a remake of Resident Evil 2, but it got shut down.
Yeah.
And they like kind of like redid it, so it's in that similar style. I kind of want to play through that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm all about Resident Evil's a cool franchise that's been around for a long time, and
It is.
it's always exciting
It
to
is
see
indeed.
something new from it.
Hey, I got a question. Who can do the best Resident Evil announcer? You know what they play, the one guy that says it at the beginning of the title screen? The Resident Evil.
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's probably the worst. But
It was
somebody
not
can do it better
good.
than me, right?
I'm not gonna attempt. I don't think.
I'm you're on your own here, bro. Okay.
All right, fine.
So-
Jeez.
All right, it's gonna be another movie. It's gonna be
All
another
right,
movie.
I think I had to warm it up. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes, do it.
Resident Evil 7.
Please make that happen.
Do it. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
Anthony, any thoughts about what Capcom might be doing with RE?
I don't know. I feel like they're probably going to do a RE4 remake because they're on the remake train at the moment. They've done. What did they do? 2 and 3, right?
2 and 3.
2 and 3, yeah. So they're probably going to do 4. I would say. I don't think they're going to do like Resi 8 at this stage. I feel like they're going to probably churn out a ton of like remake games because Resi 4 is one of the most requested games to be remade. Although some people don't want it, some people do want it. It's like one of the better Resi games at least. So I feel like they're probably going to do that if anything, if it's an announcement or anything like that.
Yeah, I remember last time this came up, the comments were fairly divisive over it.
Or A testing. Yeah, true. Yeah, so like all the stuff I saw was like negative. Nobody wanted it.
Oh, okay.
But like you go on to like the Resi 4 subreddit and like everybody's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, we want to remake whatever.
Of course, the fans of RE4 on the subreddit didn't want an RE4 remake, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a couple of thousand people or so. So I think we'll probably get a Resi 4 remake, to be honest.
All right. Well, this event is June 10th, I believe, so we will wait with bated breath until then. We're going to take a quick 30-second ad break, and then we'll be back with a very brief water cooler conversation.
This week's episode of the Power Up Podcast is brought to you by OptiNutra. OptiNutra offers nootropic-type supplements that help support enhanced sleep, vision, flexibility, energy, long-range health, and so much more. You can check out their full range of supplements using the link in this episode's description.
All right, and after that quick ad, we are back. So jumping right over into the water cooler conversation. Why is it that in like Europe and Australia things are brief? And I'm joking.
No, Taylor, I'm going to answer that. I
Okay.
refuse
Okay.
to not answer it. So, okay, I don't know. I've got no clue.
Okay, so
But,
the
like-
actual question Ethan was wondering, talking during the advert break, as to why in the U.S. we refer to it as like RE4, like RE3 and everything, but then in like Australia and Britain and whatnot, they say Resi 2, Resi 3, Resi 4.
And I don't know why. And I have no idea why. I was
Because
asking
they-
Anthony. Yeah, I guess. I was asking Anthony because he's the weird guy living on the wrong side of the world right now, and I was wondering if he had any answer to that.
I don't know about that at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, I definitely think he's in the right side at the moment.
Probably.
Uh.
Fair point, actually.
So I don't know. Like I've always called it Resi. Everybody I've known's always called it Resi. Most people on like forums and stuff call it Resi.
Mhm.
It's just like half
Just what
of
you do, man. No.
It's just half of Resident.
Okay.
So Resi
Yeah.
3, Resi 4. Whenever you say Resi, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair point.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of Americans call it that too.
I've
be
only
honest.
ever heard it referred to as RE abbreviated.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I swear I've like read quite a few articles and stuff where people call it like Resi instead of RE. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird thing.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so to the actual water cooler combo topic, this is to me about cloud gaming, and, Sony and Microsoft stuff and everything. A little bit of Stadia thrown in there. These questions I'm going to throw out are based on guideline questions that we had throw up in our Slack for a pending group article, which. It's like I did my responses for it, but not everyone on the podcast is going to be contributing to the article. So I thought it might be fun to get their takes on this one. And, literally nothing else is happening. So that we haven't just beaten into the ground the past couple weeks already on the podcast. So, and this is, okay, anyway. So, first question. What are your initial thoughts on the Sony and Microsoft cooperation for cloud-based gaming?
I wrote these questions. Damn it.
Hold on,
I know.
repeat that.
What are your initial thoughts on the Sony and Microsoft cooperation for cloud-based gaming?
Off the top of my head, I don't know what the specifics of their details are. Could you walk that?
Concept alone.
Oh,
The
so this is
concept-
not actually happening, right?
Yeah, it is actually
No, it is
happening.
actually happening. But okay, this question is more just like concept alone. How do you feel about Microsoft and Sony teaming up for cloud-based gaming?
I tried to play Fallout 3 on PlayStation Now,
Yeah.
and there was input lag. So I
Ew.
do not like cloud gaming.
Wow, who'd have thunk it? Cloud gaming has
Yeah,
input
right.
lag. Okay, spicy take.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So like they're teaming up to what are they? I'm sorry, I'm just.
Okay, so Microsoft and Sony. So Sony approached Microsoft about teaming up to do like game streaming stuff because they were worried about both Sony and Microsoft were worried about Stadia and Amazon.
Mhm.
So I don't know why, but so basically Sony's working with Microsoft to try or Microsoft's working with Sony because Microsoft has a little tech for like cloud stuff, whereas Sony doesn't. Microsoft's got the whole Azure thing, and a couple of other like programs as well they've like had in the works, I guess. So they're like probably going to do a streaming kind of service, I believe.
Oh,
What it'll be. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's a good idea that Sony and Microsoft are like trying to slay everybody?
I mean, I don't know if anyone really needs to be slayed. It seems like Stadia just continues to be continues to be in a new low point every day. So I don't know what exactly they need to fight against. Maybe GeForce Now or something, but even then, like I haven't heard too much about that since.
Okay, so
the
here's
kind of
here's
bubble
my
bubble
answer
earlier.
that I wrote up. Okay, kind of how I took the question as. So I said, in my opinion, it really depends on the extent and nature of the cooperation. I'm all for competition in the market, and taking at face value, Microsoft and Sony collaborating dilutes that. However, if it's simply Sony being granted access to Microsoft's infrastructure, then that's fine. Sony, while a massive tech conglomerate in their own right, pales in comparison to Microsoft's ability to harness and develop infrastructure. It becomes who can better utilize that infrastructure as opposed to who can produce it. And that's kind of where I thought the partnership is stemming from. Is like everything, obviously Sony doesn't have the server infrastructure to do this whole like cloud-based gaming stuff. However, they want to implement it. So, yeah, it's like it kind of makes sense they would tack on Microsoft, who's built like Microsoft Azure and all the other cloud stuff to do it.
So this is going to be a cross-platform thing then, or?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
I don't think so, but we don't really know.
Yeah, it's weird to say. Like them working together is I think interesting and could definitely like maybe something cool could come out of that, even if it's not a cloud-based gaming thing.
Okay.
It could maybe they start sharing, IPs or more stuff being published on each other's consoles.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. Maybe that's like a potential outlook from it. As far as cloud-based gaming, it still hasn't proven itself to necessarily be there yet.
Yeah.
So if they're the ones to figure it out and get it to where it's got to be, then that's great.
So I guess this kind of jumps into my answer a little bit. With how xCloud has performed in its beta and how all that has kind of worked, I feel like Microsoft is on a very good track for like, as far as like technology wise and like actually getting a product to a consumer through a streaming method, if that makes sense. Whereas Stadia absolutely sucks. Most other streaming kind of platforms have kind of sucked as well. However, we do see like platforms like what's it called, GeForce Now.
Yeah.
Right.
GeForce Now that are utilizing this kind of technology that seem to work pretty decently. Some of the games that they have on GeForce Now I haven't played, but like I've seen some like gameplay and stuff from people. It seems to work pretty decently. Yes, obviously you've got some hiccups here and there, but like it seems like a decent time for this kind of thing to be happening. So
What
with
the hell
xCloud,
is going on in my living room? Okay. Anyway.
so xCloud is probably going to appear on Nintendo Switch. We already know that because Microsoft is working with Nintendo relating to this. So it kind of makes sense for Microsoft to kind of jump on board with Sony as well. I mean, Microsoft's clearly said that Sony isn't a competitor. They're not really worried about them for this gen. They're mainly worried about like Stadia and stuff, which I don't see how that is even possible. But anyway,
Keep in mind those statements were made before Stadia was an abject failure. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if you're planning on doing a lot of cloud gaming, definitely get a wired connection if you don't already. Otherwise, it's gonna absolutely suck.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip the second question because it's very redundant.
This is very quick news here. Oh? Australia, 2 days ago, literally just got gigabit internet.
Wow.
Good for them.
Oh, nice.
Good for them.
Welcome to 2014.
Yeah, man. Who?
6 years behind.
Wow, it just got dark in my room. Okay. It's getting darker.
We can see none of it.
I know. Anyway.
Well, it's arriving at 9 p.m. No.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of a good time. But so I mentioned it's just like, Microsoft said they were concerned about Stadia and everything. This question is a good tie-in with that. With the failure of Google Stadia, do Sony and Microsoft really need to partner against them? I mean, short answer, no.
No, I mean, right.
Yeah. Yeah, Stadia was just a massive.
I could see them why they decided like, oh, these people are gonna come and eat our lunch. Like, let's be prepared.
Right.
But it didn't happen. So.
An enemy of my enemy is my friend, So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you serve a smoothie in a wine glass?
Why do you have a smoothie? Wait, hold on. We're talking about
Why
this.
not?
Yeah, what?
Why not?
Why do you
Enjoy your
have a
smoothie,
smoothie in a
man.
wine glass?
Take your time with it. Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
What flavor smoothie is that? That look like
Savor
strawberry.
it.
It's berry, banana.
Ooh. I want a smoothie now. Hey, can you post one to me?
I mean, sure.
Okay. Thank you. So what hurdles will both companies have to overcome to make cloud gaming / live streaming a reality?
I mean, the fact that like half the nation doesn't have good enough internet for that.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, so distribute really good wireless gigabit internet to like all of America, and you're good to go.
See, that won't even be enough.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Just like, okay, so it's like the way that I answered this was the biggest hurdle will forever be input latency. There's no way around it unless a company figures out.
No.
What?
That was all. I was just confirming. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's no way around it unless a company figures out how to send electrons past the speed of light. However, the issue can be mitigated in several ways. Having code in-game that compensates would help. Perhaps the biggest issue is data center efficiency and locations. This was Google's biggest problem with Stadia. Google lacked the comprehensive hardware in key locations, which further exacerbated the problem with Stadia. An ideal solution would be, at minimum, a game streaming data center in every U.S. state to service the U.S. region.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just unfeasible though.
Right, yeah. That's the thing, though, right? Because like, you need to mitigate latency as much as possible, right? So unless you figure out how to go past the speed of light, you'll always have that little bit of delay between, the data being sent back and forth over the wires.
Well, the thing that's really screwing with me is, I mean, it's just the price thing. Why would you even bother with, avoiding buying a how couple $100, $300-$400 console. If in the end you're gonna have to pay for a pretty high speed internet connection anyway, which is gonna cost you in the long run more than it would just buying a console outright.
Yeah.
Well, that would be the point of cloud-based gaming. You don't have to buy the console, right? You could be
right, but I mean, you still gotta pay for pretty decent internet, and which I suppose you might have in the first place.
Offsets the cost of not having to buy the console, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I don't know, unless if you have that in the first place, which of course I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't know. What are the prices like in the Midwest for internet? Like,
how much is it?
For gigabit internet, sheesh, it's probably $100 a month. With
I think mine is like 80 or 90 for gigabit.
Dude, I pay 90 for gig. Yeah.
You guys get gigabit? That's nice. I get 120 on it, 120 meg on a good day, and I think that costs around 50-60 a month, something like that.
So where? Okay, so the gigabit internet thing here is very new. So only some parts of like Sydney and whatever have it. Where I am at the moment, like I was just looking at prices and seeing where it was and all that, because it's like a pretty new thing. And like per month, not where I am, but like in other areas, it's 170 a month. Makes no difference where you are. Flat rate all across Australia. And for like your standard, I think it's like 150, which is like 100 download, 50 upload, or whatever it is they do. It's like $79, which that's the one that we've got. But like on average, I get like 45.
Sure.
Like infrastructure congestion and whatnot. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those issues are hopefully going to be alleviated once fiber connection becomes more common spread. But as is in the town that I'm in, I think they just have like a single line of fiber going down the center of the town that a few businesses get, not available to the public yet, though.
Sure.
So as for right now, we're just stuck with MediaCom or whatever. So I don't know. It's just that the company the United States and/or Australia is not ready for it yet, and B, input lag is just like you say, Taylor. It just seems like almost an impossible hurdle to overcome. So
until we can teleport electrons place to place, then it's gonna be a while.
I was gonna say one last quick thing, but I've completely forgotten. All good. Go ahead.
Okay. Next question. Could we see God of War or Halo on Microsoft/Sony console? I'm sorry, Anthony. How is this question related?
Okay, so the way this is going
is it just they're getting buddy with each other?
By the way, I did send these questions to you to like have a look at, so you could have pulled me up before I sent them to people, and I sent them to a couple of other people as well, and they were fine.
I
so
don't
whatever.
recall you sending me these questions, fam.
What?
I don't recall you sending me these questions before you dropped it in Slack. Okay.
When in doubt, blame Taylor. Taylor, it's your fault.
Okay.
Sorry, man. I don't make the rules.
Basically like a just like a team up kind of thing. Like
yeah,
God of
sure.
War could be on Microsoft, or like Halo could be on Sony, whatever, that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Do you think that could happen?
I said, I really hope not. As mentioned above, the collaboration between Sony and Microsoft has the potential to dilute competition. If, say, Sony exclusives moved over to Xbox and vice versa, there would literally be no incentive to buy any particular console, just which company would you rather give your money to. It's no doubt that Sony won the current console gen with the PS4 because they had the better games. The game library is still a key driver of competition in the console space.
I think as far as A-tier exclusives, those are never going to be transferred over to the other consoles, right?
Okay.
I mean, Xbox is never going to bring Halo over. They might bring Ori and Cuphead over to the Switch,
Yeah.
But never Halo.
Okay.
Same with Sony. They're never gonna bring Spider-Man or God of War
Or Killzone, probably.
Or Killzone. One of the Killzone, that A-tier that we all know and love.
Do you want what I really like to see from the PS5 as an event? Resistance, another Resistance game. Anyway, sorry.
Fair enough.
I have proof that I sent these questions to you.
Do you? I believe you. I just don't recall, Anthony.
We're gonna bring this up on podcast.
Okay. Anyway,
I would say I think you might see Microsoft stuff show up on other places before you would see a lot of the Sony stuff.
Oh, for sure.
I would agree with that.
If one company is going to break, it's definitely Microsoft.
With how the console generation, it didn't go bad for them last generation, obviously, they sold millions and millions.
Mhm.
But like, I don't know, they were behind. They're going in behind, and like, at a certain point, you're like, okay, we're not gonna just. I don't think they make that much money from the boxes themselves anyway.
No, they don't.
So like, at a certain point, if they just keep losing the console generations, do they just go, well, I guess, F it. Let's just put our games where we can and sell the software.
Okay.
In an ideal future, I think Microsoft would go the way that Sega did. Stop the hardware stuff, just continue on publishing games.
Right.
I think they would only make bad games though.
I mean, they're they're a publishing conglomerate, right?
Yeah, they publish
yeah,
the public.
yeah.
They pull in indies. They're pulling in like a lot of indie studios as of recently and publish it under the Microsoft label,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So they can continue to do that even.
Okay.
And then Halo, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
And then, I mean, maybe Sony even eventually ditches the box to when digital things work better, like in cloud gaming works better and all that or whatever. But
Okay.
or they put out one box, and I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
We said consoles were dead 8 years ago, but clearly not.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I guess it's pretty impossible to predict.
I think as long as you
exactly
have like
going.
consoles from like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, they'll never actually die. There'll
Yeah.
always be some sort of market for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Meanwhile, Nintendo is going to keep their own stuff to themselves till the day they die.
Excellent,
They
and
will never,
good job to them for that.
That
Yeah,
is the best scenario. I think
I'd love to play Nintendo games elsewhere.
companies sharing stuff is not a good plan, to be honest. I think it hurts.
I mean, yeah, it definitely it doesn't help competition for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly I don't really care about companies or conglomerates that much. I care
Right,
about the
yeah.
consumers and in my experience with it. Like, it's not for me. I don't really care if Sony makes a bunch of money. I mean, I care so that they can keep making cool games that I can play.
Yeah,
But
sure,
like,
sure.
I'm not sitting here like worried about their financials. or
Right. It's
whatever.
like none of them are hurting for money in any which way, shape, or form. Like.
Yeah.
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 I mean, at the end of the day, though, we do live in a capitalistic society, and competition, despite how kind of crappy it can be at times, it helps the consumer in the end and makes more stuff. So I don't know. We live in a society, right? It's still a fun.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Microsoft plans to include streaming elements in some upcoming titles, namely Flight Sim 2020. Is this a good idea? Should they follow or stick to just like Stadia-esque game streaming? Or I'm sorry, should Sony follow or stick to just game streaming? So do you think Sony should implement like the partial game streaming like Microsoft is doing also?
Again, I tried PlayStation now. There's input lag. I don't.
I played PlayStation with PlayStation Now a while back, and it was not great.
It's not good, no.
It could be better now.
Okay.
I mean, hey, we still don't even have it here. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Huh.
And now that I have like a really nice wired connection, it could even be decent or playable. So I don't know.
Does Australia have anything?
Kangaroos.
Wait.
on the-
Them koalas too.
Anthony, does Australia exist? Is it like, are you even there?
you like to know.
I think that we're all on the same page that we should just check into cloud gaming in like 50 years. But for right now,
Pretty much,
we're
yeah.
we're not gonna touch it.
All right. I think that'll do it for this topic then. So
Yeah, fair
All right.
enough.
open and shut. I like it. Clear cut case. All right, book them. Take
Who
them
is
downtown.
looking forward to Flight Sim 2020?
I am.
Has anyone seen some of the gameplay for it? Or
Yeah.
like world stuff?
Yeah, it looks like Flight Sim.
It looks amazing. Like I was watching
does.
some stuff yesterday about it.
Yeah.
And it looks absolutely amazing. I'm so keen for it. Like I've got a kind of like a racing kind of sim thing, and I'm thinking about like getting a yoke, like a flight yoke
Flight stick.
specifically.
stick.
Well, it's like a wheel thing, but it's like what they use now in like planes. So they used to use sticks.
Yeah.
In like smaller planes, they use sticks. So yeah,
Huh.
All right.
Think about
Wait, you have like a racing wheel set up?
Yeah.
It's pretty
Dude,
sick, bro.
You
Nice.
have like what is that track IR yet set up?
Not quite, no.
Gotta get
okay.
that. Gotta get on that track IR. You know, we can go do some trucking, all that good stuff.
I've got like Euro Truck Sim and all that kind of stuff. And like,
Nice.
funnily enough, Dirt. What? No, wait, what's it called? Far out. What's it called? Shift. Need for Speed Shift, which was like a 2008 game, is like the best game you can play on this sim. Like it's by far it plays the best. It's hilarious.
Huh.
Pretty nice to play.
A track IR is like really fun to use with the Arma 3 actually, because that game has free head movement, and so it's like if you hook it up properly, you can just kind of like without having to aim your like rifle away to a different place or whatever, you can look around your surroundings and whatnot by actually moving your head, and it's so cool. Anyway.
Yeah, same with like I know American Truck Simulator does something like that. You can kind of like
Yeah, like
and,
move.
yeah.
Okay.
Huh. That's cool.
All right. So any other topics anyone would like to broach here for the water cooler? No. How about the
Oh,
sports
shoot.
team, huh? The non-existent sports that's
The
going
what?
on right now.
I mean, yeah.
Non-existent what? Sorry.
Sports that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, all those non-existent sports. I love them. They're great. All the replays that are going on ESPN.
It's great.
My dad's watching a bunch of them.
1996 World Series, baby.
Yeah, fair enough. A lot of stuff going on. Movies are getting delayed. You know, I mean, I think we should consider ourselves lucky as a video game podcast that, for the most part, it seems like the video game industry, obviously E3 has been affected, but for the most part, it seems like it's kind of the video games are kind of thriving more than other industries are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's
I mean, you gotta run a lot of issues of development, like and delays and stuff like that. But
sure.
Right.
That's
definitely
fine.
not the worst thing.
Right.
A significant lack of news.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
very simple, like very first world issues, right? Like you know, it's like
Yeah.
oh, the game got delayed, boohoo, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a month. Like you're not
That's-
going anywhere anyway.
Right.
True.
Silver lining, right?
Exactly.
Sit at home all alone, playing your 1995 games. I don't know.
Okay. Anthony, what games are releasing this next week that aren't released in 1995?
Let me have a look. I always think that you're not gonna do it, so I don't pull it up. Because you haven't done it for quite a few weeks in a row, so I'm like,
No, I did it last week. I know for a fact.
sure you did. Sure. Let's see here. We have. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, sure. So, going from it's the 31st today, isn't it?
Yes.
No, oh yeah, for you.
Yep, sure. Okay, so coming out on June the 2nd, we have Command and Conquer Remastered Collection, which is coming to PC.
Mm-hmm.
We have Valorant, which is coming to PC as well, also on June the 2nd. On June the 5th, we have The Outer Worlds, which is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Oh, cool.
And lastly, 51 Worldwide Games is coming to Switch as well on June the 5th, whatever that is. I've got no clue.
Okay.
And next week we have a few interesting things, looks like. So yeah, pretty slow though at the moment. Slowed down quite a lot.
Okay. Unless you're interested in what was it? The Switch thing that you just talked about.
So go back and play your 1995 games.
Oh, okay, excellent. All
Okay.
right. I didn't just spoil Final Fantasy VII for more people, so
Heck yes. That's
yeah.
the only thing you should be doing with your time. Has anybody played the Outer Worlds? But out of curiosity?
I never
Outer
did, no.
Worlds is the like
The
Wow.
Obsidian, the
Obsidian,
Obsidian team.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did play some of it.
Okay.
It was on Game Pass. I don't know if it's still on Game Pass.
It
Okay.
still is.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, on PC. And I got bored of it very quickly.
Oh.
Oh, really?
I'll be real. I heard not great things about it, so I didn't pick it up.
It seems fine, but like I don't know, maybe because I'm used to like better shooters.
Uh-huh.
So you're like playing a game and it's like this is the most like mundane like combat, and that's like a lot of the game.
Sure.
But the stuff around it was really cool, like the story, like the little mini stories and like
Sure.
communities and
Mhm.
world building that they do was really neat. But when you boil it down to like this just very archaic shooting, it's just
Okay.
like,
Yeah, sure. That's trying to kind of true to its inspiration, right? That's what Fallout is like. In
well,
general.
yeah, no, totally. Like the shooting in Fallout's not good at all. especially 3, and maybe New Vegas is better, but
New Vegas is an iterational improvement from 3.
4 is
yeah,
pretty
yeah. So like 3 is not good. New Vegas is not great, and then 4 I was still like not impressed with.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not the focus of the game, but like I don't know, when that's what you're doing a majority of the time, and it really sticks out to me. It's like, oh,
Right.
this
You
is
might as well make it good, right? You know.
yeah, this is like a bad, shooter. That
In the words of Anthony's favorite video game, Donkey, people have found out that they don't play WRPGs for the riveting combat.
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah. You're not. It's completely right. But
Japan
like,
got around it by making everything turn-based.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played the Outer Worlds as well. I think up to the same point as Andrew. I'm not going to say that it was bad combat or like bad story or anything. It just didn't hook me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't I just got bored of it like really quick. I don't know. I've got no clue why.
I
But
think the upgrades are like the way you build. I don't think you build a class. I don't think very much. Like it doesn't feel meaningful. Like when you're,
yeah.
there's not a lot of cool perks or like stuff you're getting. It's all pretty just like you run faster, you do more damage. There's nothing like super weird like Fallout had, where it's like, oh, you're a vampire, you can just eat people's bodies and like get health back or whatever. Like there's nothing just out of the blue like that. And I think that at least that I got to.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I think it was like a culmination of like small nitpicky things that just made it kind of a drag to play.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The game seems boring. I'm probably not gonna pick it up on any platform. I'm not
If
gonna
you
lie.
have Game Pass, you might as well try it and see if you
Okay.
like it.
I don't even know if I still pay for Game Pass anymore. I'll have to check. Okay.
Yeah, I do. It's a good service.
Okay.
Hey, if y'all are looking for a really interesting, well-written game, has anybody played Disco Elysium?
Metal Gear Solid 3. Oh.
Disco Elysium, that one indie game that was recommended at the Game Awards last year.
No,
Anybody
I
check it
haven't.
out?
Have you played it?
Yeah, I played all the way through it. It's really, really fascinating. The entire concept is that like the RPG system is the dialogue system. Your main character has like these, I think it's 24 different voices that are going on inside your head at any different time.
My
Some-
God, that sounds insane.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and they're also supposed to be different aspects of your psyche, right? So there's like an authority voice. There's, there's intelligence, logic.
Is this like the
knowledge.
Inside Out movie that came out a couple years ago
Kind
or
of.
whatever?
That reminded me exactly of that.
Well, it's so smartly written too, because depending on how high each of these stats are, like if you have a really high knowledge stat,
Uh-huh.
it'll constantly chime into whatever conversation you're having with other people, saying and giving you information about the world that you're in, or
Interesting.
like a logic. Yeah, and it's like it breaks the fourth wall a lot, and it's just it's really, really fascinating. I'd recommend it as a really well written.
Is it an indie game?
Technically, yes.
Is
Yeah.
it
Yes,
is it
it is.
pixel graphics?
No.
Okay.
I think so.
Is it a
It's got
platformer?
No.
Okay, we're good.
Oh, no, it's top down, isn't it?
We're good.
It's top
Yeah,
down?
isometric. Yeah,
It's like
isometric.
like an older, whatever you want to call it,
Oh, okay.
RPG style. I
Okay.
don't know what they call it.
Okay,
Okay.
as a short example of the sort of clever writing that it has, you know how in most games where you can choose the dialogue,
Mhm.
usually sometimes if it forces you to choose like a tough decision, sometimes it'll also give you like a scapegoat option to like say, okay, I don't want to make this decision. It's usually like the last one on the list.
Mhm.
So throughout this game, it's constantly asking you like kind of these like, it wants you to be an extreme, I don't know, politicist and go either two ways.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
if you keep on consistently picking the last one, saying, I don't really want to choose either one, it'll call you out on that throughout the course of the dialogue and say, hey, you're that one guy who constantly picks the fourth option. You must be like a centrist or something like that. I'm sitting there like, I feel called out right now.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's really, really smart about it.
Yeah.
I'd recommend.
It's like, wow, you can't make any decision ever.
Exactly. I'm like, listen, I didn't come here to be personally attacked. All right, come on.
I'm playing a game. Don't attack me.
Exactly. I'd recommend it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
oh,
Interesting.
All right. Anybody got anything else here?
Really? No. I don't believe
Ori
so.
and the Black Forest is good.
Yeah.
It's a good.
It
Game.
is. It is a good game that I have not played.
All right. Andrew, where can people find you on Twitter? Or you
You
will
can find
continue
me-
to not play Ori.
Yes, while I continue to not play Ori, most likely, you can find me at Duronsky, Twitter, Instagram, DRNSKI. You know, I've been on a lot of nature adventures recently. You can follow that there.
As you do.
Yeah, nature stuff, beer stuff, all that good stuff.
I like it.
Yeah, so you know,
Nice.
follow me there, say hi.
Okay. Ethan.
I am at Linkachuchu on Twitter. That is LANKACHUCHU. I usually post, as Taylor likes to phrase it, nuclear bad takes about movies, video games. I think I posted one about the dumb movie that came out last year. What's it called? Crazy Rich Asians. I hated that movie.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
I hate that movie.
I saw it with my sister.
Oh, when you
Movie's
said
all-
it was a Hallmark movie, I thought that was a good thing.
No, it's not
It's
a Hallmark movie.
It's a Hallmark movie in all but name. That's what it is.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, I hate that stuff. Anyway, wait a minute. Andrew,
I
have you ever seen a
watch it.
Hallmark movie before?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're
But,
horrible, but they're
like-
also like heartwarming.
No,
Yeah,
they're not.
well, they're supposed to be, but usually intentions I feel like are way off.
Yeah, it's like the terribly written, inappropriate soundtrack that just does not back anything up. I just hated that movie. Anyway, other nuclear bad takes like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So anyway.
All right, Anthony, where can people find you on Twitter? Where I assume there are no nuclear bad takes to be had there.
Nothing. In fact, there is absolutely nothing to be had there. I haven't tweeted in like 4 months.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's fun. But I might get back into that, I think, maybe. See how we go. So you can follow me at SoMantman19 if you want to, I think. Wait, is that my I think that's my
I don't
Twitter.
know. I don't know.
That'll do. If
wait.
not... Wait. What?
Ethan, all you had to say was Crazy Rich Asians is an effing Hallmark film. That's all you had
That's
to say
it.
about it?
That was it. Yeah, that was my review.
You have 240 characters, and that's all you have to say about it.
Yep. So I don't need to expound any more than that.
Okay,
That's-
That's
I don't-
fine. Yeah, totally.
All right. No, okay. I was just saying if there's
Fair
more
enough.
to it. All right, fair enough. Anyway. Anthony, as you were, sorry.
If you are wanting to get in contact with me, you can do so through any of the site channels, which is Twitter, Facebook, community, Discord, anywhere really. So I manage all of that kind of stuff.
Okay. Awesome.
Mhm.
All right, so thank you all so much for tuning in. We will have hopefully a more exciting and eventful show next week, but we always have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure we'll probably unpack the PlayStation 5 reveal event next week. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. They at least guarantee that part's happening, unless Sony decides to, of course, delay the event, in which case, well, that just kind of throws a wrench into the machine, and that's no fun. Anyway, hope to see you back next week, same time, same place. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy, wherever you might be in the world, and we hope to see you all next time.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.